Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
Over a dozen seniors are without a home tonight after a fire sparked near a gas meter in Fargo. Valley News Team's Joshua Peguero is live for us at the site with more. Joshua?
Yes, Andrew, as you said, 24 units were evacuated. This is at Riverview, which is a retirement community. A lot of senior citizens live here, and it's a very unfortunate situation, as the battalion fire chief said. More than 24 seniors, they won't be able to return for the night. They're going to have to find another place to live. When I was arriving here a little before 7 o'clock, I did see a few senior citizens make their way across the street where there was a chapel that was located. The battalion fire chief tells me that he doesn't know a cause for the fire, but he did ask the property managers to turn off the gas. One thing I did ask him when I arrived out here, there were so many units, so many fire trucks. I asked him what was so difficult about fighting this fire. This is what he said.
The fire was gas fed directly from the gas supply to the building, so that crews were not able to shut that gas off. And since they couldn't shut the gas off, they couldn't extinguish that fire. So not being able to put the fire out initially caused a lot of fire spread to other parts of the building.
Again, Andrea, this is a gas-fed fire. More than 24 senior citizens were displaced, and they're going to have to find another place to spend the night. Live in Fargo, Joshua Peguero, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks, Joshua, for that live report. Temps felt pretty warm today, especially for this time of year. Hutch, how's our weekend shaping up?
Well, the weekend's looking like it will bring some change as we've closed out this Friday with yet another day near 40 or into the 40s for many. Quiet conditions here in Fargo, but that's not the case up north. Some dense fog and freezing fog reported up near Hallock, where visibilities in northwest Minnesota are down to 1/4 mile. Now, this has been retreating back to the north just a little bit, but the fog could stick around and could cause some very slippery conditions as well. A little bit of snow north of Winnipeg could work its way southward as we go towards morning. There's your fog advisory for northwest Minnesota. And again, I expect that to kind of retreat up to the north as we go through the overnight hours. Temperatures hovering in the 20s, maybe even rising for those of you up north. We start the day with clouds, down south a little more sun, but the weekend promises some transition. I'll have details on some snow in our forecast before the end of the weekend here. I guess winter has to return sooner or later.
Sure does. Thanks so much. Tonight's Pep Fest, or Bison Bash, whatever you want to call it, appears to have accomplished everything organizers wanted. Thousands gathered at a venue in Plano, Texas to rally before tomorrow's FCS championship game between NDSU and Eastern Washington. Valley News Team's Mike Morgan is once again live from Frisco with more on the energy explosion. Mike?
Good evening, Andrea, and good evening to everybody back in the Red River Valley. If tonight's pep rally was the barometer, I can tell you that the Bison fans that have traveled south to Texas are definitely ready for tomorrow's game. They were loud and they were proud tonight. Capacity was 4,000 at the facility, and it stayed that way from the time the doors opened until the events wrapped up. Whether you were a first-timer or a repeat attender, reaction was the same.
Having the best time ever. I love it. There's so many Bison fans. I've never been here before, and it is phenomenal. I just love the community. It's great.
Every year's a little different groups of people, different friends, but we have been here every single year, and we will continue to come every single year. It's a family, it's a tradition, we wouldn't miss it.
It's the first time I've ever been back to a national championship game, and it's unbelievable. I'm so blessed to be here and watch these guys.
We are here at the Omni, which is a part of the Star, which is the headquarters for the Dallas Cowboys, but it's also the headquarters for the NDSU Bison. The players, many of the family and coaches are all here. Team meetings wrapped up about 2 hours ago, and this has been the opportunity for many of the athletes to get an opportunity to chat with their family members before the big game. Curfew, I'm told, is anywhere between now and 10:30, so it should be quieting down a little bit, only to erupt all over again about 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Reporting live from Frisco, Texas, Mike Morgan, Valley News Live.
Thank you, Mike. Loving the live shots. We'll get more from you tomorrow. North Dakota's governor is betting on NDSU for the win tomorrow. Governor Doug Burgum made a friendly wager with Washington Governor Jay Inslee over the outcome of the game. Burgum said in a statement, Bison Nation won't be denied. Good luck to the Eagles, whose narrow victory over the Bison in the 2010 FCS quarterfinals still stings, though 6 national championships since then has certainly eased the pain. Go Bison. If the Eagles win, Burgum will send Dots Homestyle pretzels, honey, and North American bison steaks, among other treats, to a food bank in Washington. If the Bison win, then Inslee will send Washington's famous apples, sparkling soda, and candy to the Great Plains Food Bank here. As Governor Burgum mentioned in his State of the State address yesterday, the flags of North Dakota's 5 tribal nations are on display outside his office. Lawmakers have voted down all previous attempts to do so. Some worry that the flags will be removed after Governor Burgum leaves office. So another bill is being introduced to make the flag display permanent. Grand Forks police are looking for a man who they say tried to steal a woman's purse today. Police say the woman was walking on the 400 block of North 5th Street when the incident happened. The woman tried to fight back and prevented the theft, but the suspect is still on the run. He's described as a skinny white man with dirty blonde hair and a distinct crooked nose. Police also say it's likely this man has a bite mark on his right hand from the victim. If you have any information or see someone matching this description, call Grand Forks Police. We have more information on a shooting in Mandan and the arrest of a 16-year-old boy who has now been charged with attempted murder and other crimes. Police say the victim, a 27-year-old woman, was driving away with 2 other people when a shot from outside hit her in the back. She's been recovering in the hospital ever since. Police say they're looking for another person of interest who was seen running away from the scene wearing dark clothing. It's been nearly 2 months since 3 first responders were killed in a plane crash in Morton County, North Dakota. On Sunday in Mandan, there will be a hockey tournament and silent auction to honor Todd Lasky, Chris Iverson, and Bonnie Cook. Daniela Hurtado tells us why the event is so important to so many people.
Sports bring people together, especially when a community continues to mourn the lives lost in a tragedy.
Chris's number is still on everything, so there's those reminders. But I think as a family, we've all kind of been there to support each other.
Godspeed to the crew of Bismarck Air Medical.
Zinker says they wanted to bring people together to honor the victims and show support for first responders.
This event shows that they are important to us and we do need them. And the community's way of giving back, saying, hey, we need you guys and we're sorry for your loss.
Todd Lasky's fiance says it's been hard and everything reminds her of his radiant smile.
It's still fresh.
She says the community support has been touching and overwhelming.
It does show that when there's tragedy, community really does come and step up. They step up.
She says this is a way to continue keeping all their memories alive.
All the money raised will go directly to those families. A 27-year-old man has been cited for distracted driving, and his truck is destroyed after troopers say he crashed into a Freightliner in Fargo. The crash happened just before 7 this morning on I-29 south of 32nd Avenue. The Highway Patrol says 27-year-old Justin Sackenruder was heading southbound on I-29 when a Freightliner with a trailer was merging from the shoulder. That's when they say Sackenruder dropped his soda on the floor and reached down to grab it, then crashed into the trailer. Sackenruder was cited for distracted driving. We're told no one was seriously injured in the crash. A Minnesota family is thankful their horse is still alive after it got stuck in an icy swamp. Sharon Yu has our story.
Just by looking at this braided beauty, you'd never be able to tell the strife she went through on Wednesday.
We have 4 horses and one was missing.
Katie Bielka goes to St. Cloud State, but on a whim decided to come home for a visit and a ride. Except Breeze was gone, somewhere in the several acres they own.
Just heard my brother yelling, like, I found her, she's in the swamp, and instantly my heart just like dropped.
Breeze, the 5-year-old horse, had gone over a downed fence and gotten herself into this. Pulling her out and caring for her wasn't a one-man job.
Baby girl, come on, baby girl.
The Princeton Fire Department was fast. They sent out a lot of people, had ratchet straps and body boards and stuff like that.
It takes a village, and she wouldn't be alive if we didn't have the team that we had in place.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Fialka says with help, they were able to get her out relatively smoothly.
It was almost like she could tell, like we were helping her.
With plenty of warming up, Breeze was back to her breezy self. But now they know what she's capable of.
I'd never thought that I'd ever see a horse stuck in the swamp like that ever.
And Fialka is warning other folks with bogs and swamps nearby to keep an eye on horses on the run.
As of today, Breeze is doing well, and the family says they will definitely be keeping a closer eye on her in the future. Later on Valley News Live.